Hey guys.
Steve was asked what helped him go off so much today, and he said it's just as simple as shots falling. Is that what you just saw from him?
I think when the ball goes in, obviously it looked good. I thought his balance and things probably maybe a little hesitant the last couple of weeks or whatnot, but yeah, he looked good. I'm sure that shot at Nebraska probably gave him some confidence.
How do you feel about your transition offense today?
I thought it was pretty good. It's a little misleading a lot of times when you shoot so many threes in transition. But when the ball goes in, it obviously looks good. But I thought it was pretty good. I thought we ran the floor pretty well. I thought our defensive rebounding was pretty good, so that allowed us to make an outlet and get up the floor. But it wasn't bad. It was certainly better than it has been.
What do you want to get out of a game like this going into it? What's your objective?
Well, I would like for us to, put the clamps on somebody. We still haven't done that. We do in stretches, but not consistently. And then, tonight, as much as anything, was try to, let's get Malik going, probably as much as anything, and give Sam and Marcus and Mitch some minutes, and hopefully have a relatively rested bunch going to Stanford. That would be probably the goal.
What do you think of Malik? Did he get going or not quite?
Yeah, I thought he's a lot better. He's more aggressive, and he's a really good in-between shooter, and he made a couple of mid-range shots, and then made a couple of threes, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought he played pretty well.
How did you think Cunliffe did with his 20 minutes?
I thought he did pretty good. He was pretty thirsty, so he could probably maybe share it a little bit more than just pull the trigger every time he's open, because he's going to be open a lot. But he'll learn those things. But I thought he did some good things. I thought he looked okay.
What do you think of his defense?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I don't think anybody stood out defensively, but I don't think that he was any worse or any better than anybody else. I thought it was okay.
Malik had a couple of extra pass type plays, especially in the first half. I mean, is that a sign of him kind of getting it a little more, or not quite there? Or what do you think?
Yeah, maybe. In transition is where he struggles to me the most, of not getting the ball out of his hands. Just like the play, he's got LaGerald wide open in the corner, and he wants to catch it and bounce it instead of just look ahead and pitch ahead. But yeah, I thought he was better. He's been called for like 3 or 4 walks in the last 2 games, and he's got to get better at that. But yeah, I thought he did fine. I thought he played pretty well.
Doak with back-to-back double-doubles. Has he turned the corner, or are you staying very grinchy on him?
Grinchy. I would say I haven't been grinchy in the last 36 hours, but I could probably go back real easily. But I thought Doak did fine. He only played 22 minutes and didn't get a lot of touches early, but I thought his moves were fairly quick, and made a couple of good moves where he didn't convert. But I thought he did fine. He leaks out on rebounds, things like that. When he forgets that he's the only big guy we have, which I think is frustrating. But certainly, I thought the whole team shared it pretty good.
Do you see this coming from Svi after his game winner last game?
Well, I think he's always capable of making shots. He's a terrific shooter. So, did I see it coming? I would say that I saw him being more confident after the Nebraska game. So,
how does this fit in the schedule? You obviously had those bigger name opponents, and then Thursday you got that again, and then Big 12 play. But this one's kind of sandwiched right in there. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. We said our schedule just started, when we played Syracuse, and that was basically the truth. And then we had we've actually played pretty consistently well this year, except for back-to-back games. I mean, a 4-day stretch when we weren't pretty good, but other than that, we played fairly consistently well, and but it helps. Sometimes it looks so much better than what it is when you shoot the ball like that, and you can go back and show them tape and say, all they did was miss the same shots that we made, and although that's not all, but I know shooting is a huge part of the game, but we still got to take more pride in understanding that even if they got off a good shot and they missed, that's not good defense, so we just got lucky, you know.
Did you talk to their coach at all? It's unusual for a team to play like 27 hours before they come into this.
No, I didn't talk to them about that, but they won easy yesterday, so I don't think they played a lot of folks many minutes, at least looking at the box, the box score. But I think that there was a scheduling blunder, and I don't know the details on it, but I don't think that's what they had intended to do, and somehow there was a blunder, and that's the way it ended up.
Sam's first dunk on the lob from Devontae, does that kind of highlight his athleticism?
Yeah, he's a good athlete. I don't think that highlights it. He's a lot more. He can look a lot more athletic than that. But he is an explosive athlete, very powerful.
What did you think of James?
I thought he did fine. Yeah, he did good. You know, he points per minute, he led the team in scoring. But I thought he did. I thought he did good for a guy that doesn't know what he's doing at all. I asked him, hey, can you do this? And he said, I don't know any of it. And I said, well, just ball screen and run to the rim. And he did, and he ended up getting a couple of baskets.
How does good passing make a good shooting team into a great shooting team?
I think good passing can make bad to average, and average to pretty good, and pretty good to good, and good to great, and on time, on target. When you can really pass the ball and you can move it, guys are getting, less contested shots and those sorts of things. So I would say your percentages would go up a lot of because of a rhythm, a lot of times because you know where you're going to get it. A lot of times you know that the guy found you, so you'll make sure you find him the next time. Whereas I do think players think, well, he didn't get it to me on time, on target, then maybe I won't get it to him on time, on target. I think there's some examples of that. So, obviously a good pass leads to a good shot. That's an old coaching saying, and I do think that's true.
I think maybe early second half or something like that, I looked at the bench, Malik, Udoka, and LeGerald sitting there. Obviously, they're not on the floor. Did it feel like you actually had a bench tonight?
Yeah, it actually, I thought how do I get all these guys in the game? so that's how I felt, there. So yeah, it was good. We still got to figure out who's going to play behind Devontae when he's not in the game. But I did think it felt like a much deeper team.
Looking ahead to conference play, what do you guys need to improve on most before then?
Well, a little bit of everything. Obviously, our first shot defense can get better, and defensive rebound can always get better. One of the biggest things, we got to shoot some free throws. Guys, we don't shoot any free throws. I don't know where we rank nationally, but I was told somebody told me what they said it was. Is it 350 out of 351 number of free throws?
Ratio of free throws to field goals attempted.
Okay. Which I guess that's a legitimate stat. I've never heard of that one before, but yeah, we shoot so little free throws, and a lot of it is that we shoot perimeter jumpers. But you stop and think about it. We're playing a man on Thursday. I think Stanford's game was Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
He shot. I think he was 19 to 22 from the line last year against us. And wasn't it 19 to 22? And this year he shot 102 free throws, and we've shot 132 as a team. He shot 102. So it's, you better shoot a good percentage because you're not getting to the line ever. And who drives it for us to get in there? Devontae does a little bit, but he's not like Frank, and nobody's like Josh. We shoot it pretty well, which I know can kind of cover some things, but in a tight game where you're not shooting the basketball, you got to figure out a way to get to the line. We go to Nebraska, and granted they didn't shoot free throws either, but we shoot 8 free throws against Nebraska, and we shoot 9 tonight. When's the last time a Kansas team in 2 consecutive games has shot a total of 17 free throws? I don't know. So, and it's not the officiating, trust me, because we're not fouling either. The game was over in an hour and 40 minutes today. So they had to fill a lot of time, I know, because they interviewed Steve for about 10 minutes. I bet that was a fun interview, understanding Ukrainian, English, but yeah, we got to figure out a way to stop the clock and get to the free throw line.
Can you draw that stuff up? I mean, is it just guys having to make it happen, or can you coach it?
I think you can coach it some.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that's not who we are. Malik doesn't do that.
Right.
I mean, Malik shot 11 free throws this year. 11 total. Doak has shot one going into today's game. Doak has shot 1 free throw total in the last 5 games. 1. I mean, so you know, if it's not for Devontae, we don't shoot any free throws, and we should be a decent free throw shooting team, you know, minus maybe the big fellas. We just got to do a better job of driving it. You know, the emphasis. I don't know if teams as a whole are shooting as many free throws this year. I'd say probably not, because most teams are guarding a little bit differently. But yeah, we've got to do that.
What's making them guard different?
The rules, emphasis. I don't think there's as much pressure this year, at least from what I've seen. You know, there's going to be some schools like West Virginia that get out and pressure you, but I do think there's in many ways offense has more of an advantage, I think, than what they've had in the past. And I do think the defensive, you know, rim protection and you know, being able to go straight up to contest shots, I do think that favors the defense more than maybe what it has in the past. But I still think there's less contact now. There's more ball and body movement this year without the chucking, the cutters and things like that than what I've seen. And maybe that's created less, you know, teams not getting the bonuses much. But 350 out of 351, that's an alarming stat.